Hey guys, what's up? Chief Pat here, and today bringing you guys a brand new Clash Royale video. And inside of this video, we're going to be bringing back the PEKKA Double Prince deck inside of Clash Royale that's been seeing a lot more playtime lately after the most recent balancing changes and update. Now, the deck that we're going to be using obviously is rocking the PEKKA Double Prince. We have two legendaries in the Princess and the Ice Wizard, as well as we have the Goblins and the Fire Spirits alongside the Zap. And overall, it's a pretty solid deck. It works well against some of the decks like the Bowler because the princes don't get knocked back by the bowler. And when I say princes, I mean the prince and the dark prince, not the princess, because she gets bowled over in like half a second. But let's go ahead and hop into a couple battles using this deck and check out the deck this guy's using. He's actually using the mirror, and he mirrored his prince to get a pretty insane push down the right hand lane, and he even dropped a free spell. Now honestly, I don't think that was a great decision now that he's used all that elixir and he wasn't even able to crack my P.E.K.K.A. We've got a massive push going down the lane to where I don't think he's going to be able to do too much to stop it, and we're going to keep making our way to the tower. So P.E.K.K.A. still has plenty of HP left to where we can smack that thing down to 0, and off the very first push of the game, it's already 1-0, and this game is looking fantastic. Now the Ice Wizard's going to freeze the tower just long enough for my P.E.K.K.A. to get a single shot off against it, and my Zap, of course, will be effective enough to take those minions down low enough, and he doesn't have a miner or any other tanks to provide them a little bit of backup. So all in all, a perfect start to this game. Again, the mirror is such a fun card to use alongside the new rage spell. I really need to use the rage spell inside of one of my next videos because I honestly haven't been trying it out so much after the update dropped. I used it a lot on the developer build that I had a chance to play before the update came out to record sneak peeks, and it was just so much fun to play, and I want to show you guys it inside of a future video. But anyways, looks like this guy does have this. He does have a P.E.K.K.A. deck as well, and that's what was sort of hiding back there. He must not have had it in the first rotation when I played mine, and he played his Prince instead. So now we're going to start making our way down the lane. Our Ice Spirit is going to help our P.E.K.K.A. out and then make it so it should be able to kill his, or at least get fairly close due to the lowered attack speed. And now with some Dark Prince on Dark Prince action, even though his is level 9, we do have the Ice Wizard helping out as well as the Princess, and we're going to just dominate this left-hand lane all the way down to about 2,500, 2,300, 2,200 HP, and these Barbarians will die to the tower. Now, sensing a chance for a counterattack, he'll play his Prince. Obviously, we're going to be able to stop that with a perfect Goblin pull right there, as well as our Ice Spirit's going to be able to clean him up. And notice the placement of my Ice Spirit. I actually placed it so it went in the left-hand lane, and it could help me out on my counterattack. Now, I didn't place my Ice Spirit like right in front of the Prince or anything like that. Placing it exactly how I did made it so I was able to use it just a little bit down this left-hand lane, and that ended up taking just a little bit more damage to the minions, a little bit more damage to the tower, as well as any of the troops that he had. And with 20 seconds left in the game, it looks like this one is all but over. Now, a P.E.K.K.A. on defense, we've got our Ice Wizard to help out against the Prince and his P.E.K.K.A. as well, the Goblins to stop the P.E.K.K.A. in its tracks, and with the Fire Spirits to kill that Prince. I'm going to go ahead and go for a second crown with the Princess, but unfortunately, she's going to get distracted by the Prince on the right-hand lane and not be able to clean up the game. So all in all, a fairly solid win. I think the only damage we took on that right-hand tower, I don't even remember what it was from. It was something like so incredibly small that it didn't even matter. We got 30 trophies from that battle as well as 20 gold. Let's go and continue to our second battle of the day against Gillies and to see if we can knock him out. Now, starting hand, normally I'll always start with a Princess or an Ice Wizard in the very back. If I don't have those cards, I can start with a P.E.K.K.A., although it's really dangerous. Or if my opponent goes for something really aggressive down one of the lanes, or if he plays an Elixir Collector, I might drop a Double Prince push at the exact same time to try to cheese him out of a tower. Now, at the very beginning of this game, he's going to play his Furnace, which is pretty good against the Prince and the P.E.K.K.A. because it slows them down just a bit. But all in all, not actually going to take too much right there. The mini P.E.K.K.A. is going to get blown into pieces. And with the Poison spell, that's going to kill my Princess, but hopefully we're going to be able to get some damage off against this tower as the Dark Prince comes and splashes that Musketeer to smithereens. Now, a desperate Mega Minion that's only level 8, keep in mind, rares get maxed out at level 11 right here. That's not going to be able to do too much against me. The Fire Spirits are going to get killed as well, and now we can just sort of hang out and let our legendaries do work, see what Gillies plays, and then make a counterattack from there and figure out our game plan. I'm feeling like we have a pretty decent deck against him, all in all, from what I've seen so far, and with that Furnace low enough, let's go ahead and get ready to defend. But here comes the Hog Rider, so let's go ahead and make sure we zap down those Fire Spirits. We've got the Goblins to try to kill the Musketeer, but unfortunately, the Musketeer musketeer isn't gonna die from those goblins, and we took way too much damage on that tower from what I expected. I still think we have a small elixir lead right here. I'm not exactly sure, but let's go ahead and set up a big push down this right-hand lane now that he's played his elixir collector. I could have gone for a double prince push, but I wasn't feeling too adventurous right there. I'd rather set up with the P.E.K.K.A, set up with my legendaries, and get ready to hopefully end this game down the right-hand side. Alright, so P.E.K.K.A's making its way downtown. I'm not going to sing the rest of that song, and we've got a couple other cards we can choose from. Here comes the Musketeers, though, and that's a very interesting choice because we've got some good 3 Musketeers counters in our deck. We have the Princess, we have the Zap spell, we have the Dark Prince. Take a look at that. That was actually a completely unnecessary zap right there. I didn't even have to use it. Meanwhile, down the left-hand lane, let's assassinate that Musketeer with some goblins, and I have to break it to you, the Mega Minion isn't going to do too much as my P.E.K.K.A gets right in his face and ends up stomping that tower to smithereens. Now, sensing a chance to go on the counter push, seeing as he might counter that right-hand lane, I went for the double prince push, and my troops are just going to go ahead and run right down and smack those musketeers in the face. Looks like with 30 seconds left, we've already damaged that right-hand tower so low from the princess and the P.E.K.K.A that they're just going to keep rapid firing away. And let's see if we can get a third crown for this game. So the tower's down to 777. We've got 2 princes in the right-hand lane. I've got another princess hoping to be able to take this one out. But with his musketeer down, this is going to be the 2nd straight game where we didn't get the third crown inside of it. So I'm going to go ahead and settle for 2 right there. 2's better than 1. And that will be it for this battle. So close to that 3rd star, but that's going to be a good game well played. And eventually we were able to make a big enough push down the right-hand lane to break the game open. And then from there, he knew that it was all but over, so we were able to smash continually towards that king tower, as well as destroy that left-hand lane. So battle number 3 against Arma. We're going to be facing off against a fellow level 13. Let's see what this guy's got. I'm going to start with a P.E.K.K.A, which is extremely dangerous, guys. I normally don't recommend that, and he's going to start with a golem. Now, in general, the P.E.K.K.A counters the golem because if they meet in the very center, the P.E.K.K.A is just going to cut the golem into pieces without even the golem even touching the tower. So I'm pretty happy about that, but seeing as they're on opposite sides, it makes this match a lot more interesting. Let's go ahead and make a P.E.K.K.A Prince push down the right-hand lane. That miner's just going to take it right in the face, and this game right now is all about defending. This whole game is about defending. Check out what I do. I'm going to do a tank and spank with the Ice Wizard on the Witch. I'm going to use my Ice Wizard to tank the Witch. I'm going to use my Goblins to assassinate the Witch, and just like that, we played that absolutely perfectly. The right-hand tower died from my P.E.K.K.A Prince push. The Prince is still going ham in that right-hand lane, and guys, 1 push down the right-hand lane, and that was game against this guy right here. All right, 213 health, man. Come on, Arma. Get it together. All right. Well, you guys know what I'm saying. This game is over. I just need 1 more princess shot or 2 more princess shots to take down this tower right here. Good game. Well played. And yeah, 3 crown off of our very first push for the game, excluding that last princess to get the last 200 HP off the king tower, but a very successful defense. If you guys want to learn something from that battle, go ahead and rewind and check out what I did to that witch. I used a tankier unit to distract the witch, and then I used the goblins to assassinate the witch. Orange Juice, if you guys know him, been featured in the game many times. He made a great video on tank and spank, which is why I called it that. I don't even know what I used to call it that when I did it, but he put a pretty good name on it. That's been common, you know, tank and spank from a couple other video games. But yeah, that's what I did to that witch, and that ended up being all I needed to end that game right there, seeing as his push on the left-hand side was completely assassinated. Now, wrapping up for our final battle of the day, looks like we're going to be facing off against a level 12. I get the Prince and the Dark Prince push down the right-hand lane. Looks like he's throwing out some emotes. I'm going to keep him in timeout right now as my goblins and a princess start assassinating this giant. I'm going to zap down the minions to make sure they don't kill my goblins before they can kill the giant right there, and I'm just going to unmute to see what he's saying. Looks like he's throwing some good games out there, so he thinks this one is all but over. Only a minute into the battle. Now, with that tower on the right so low, I can either focus on that or go to the left. Keep in mind, I don't have any direct damage in this deck except for my princess, if you want to call it that, in the zap spell. Obviously, with the princess, I can play it right on the edge of the bridge, and it's going to immediately start firing at the tower if there's nothing else to shoot. But since he dropped a giant in the left-hand lane, the P.E.K.K.A is a fantastic counter to the giant. It's going to kill the giant very quickly without the giant reaching the tower most of the time, unless he has 3 musketeers, which we're going to have to take care of right now. So those are going to go ham. I've got the fire spirits to help out. Hopefully they jump towards the musketeer. Looks like only one of them did, so all in all, a little bit unfortunate, but with my princess and the ice wizard, we're going to be able to kill those 3 musketeers before anything goes too downhill. Now, I thought that would have gone much better because we did have the counter with the P.E.K.K.A to the giant, but the 3 musketeers and not having any great counters to them made it a little difficult for me. Let's go ahead and protect against these minions right here. Check out the Goblin Lure I do, and the MLG Pro Zap spell he throws right there as the princess ends up killing the minions. I still would have been fine right there, even if he did zap down my fire spirits, because the princess would have got the minions so low that they wouldn't have been able to survive a single tower shot. And now with a minute left in the battle, we're just going to go ahead and keep running down this left-hand lane. I do want to counter that giant rather than getting too aggressive for that 553 on the right-hand lane. Here comes the Sparky though, or here comes the Three Musketeers though, and this is where I think we're going to be a-okay. Now Dark Prince and the Goblins, another tank and spank down the right-hand lane. Those Musketeers are going to be turned into absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, we've got the Prince, the P.E.K.K.A, and the Ice Spirit down the left-hand lane. And all in all, we've got a massive push going, and we can go ahead and just try to finish this one off. So 2 Ice Wizards, which again are going to get fireballed in the face, and a princess that died. We've got the P.E.K.K.A, we've got the Goblins, we've got the Zap spell. I'm going to hold on to the Zap since those minions are going to die to my Ice Wizards right there. The P.E.K.K.A is so low right now. Let's go ahead and go for one last Double Prince push, and with 5 seconds left in the game, that's going to be the second crown, and that's going to be the battle. So besides some minor damage we took on the right-hand side from God knows what, and maybe a little bit of damage on the left too, that was a pretty simple battle right there. 27 trophies and 20 gold. Guys, the PEKKA Double Prince deck is still so strong. Even if you don't have the legendaries, you can use plenty of other supporting cards like archers. The Ice Wizard isn't exactly replaceable, so you can just throw something else in that you guys might want to throw alongside him, like some 3 Elixir minions or the Minion Horde. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smack that like button with your forehead, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.